Okay. Oh God, is this not just like so cool? Wow. Alexandra, absolutely fantastic performance. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe Stevie and I'm your vocal coach for today because are you ready to take a look? Okay, she doesn't really growl, but we're going to take a look at Alexandra. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her last name with Choke Me from Romania. This was honestly one of the standout performances. I'm fucking excited. Let's just get to see what she's up to with her vocal technique. But if you want to rock out with me to more music and see what these vocalists are up to with their vocal technique, what is she doing to create these beautiful sounds and how can you create them, then you need to subscribe to the channel because honestly, I'm gonna help you to become an insanely good singer. Fuck, I'm excited. Anyway, let's go.
Phantom, you feel like a phantom. Why do you wanna take me? It's hard to breathe and do you feel me? Do what I say and don't you ever betray me. You want me to obey me, are you not?
That is so fantastic. I'm assuming that she's singing that as if the white character is singing that, but she's singing it. Sorry, because I can't see her mouth. But anyway, we're going Phantom. We've got a chest voice, thicker vocal fold there. That breath is coming through because the vocal folds are slightly open. They open and close from back. We're wanting to pull back on the volume though when we're using breath in the sound. And she's doing these beautiful, expressive at the end of the phrases.
Phantom, you feel like a phantom. Why do you wanna take me? It's hard to breathe and do you feel me? Do what I say and don't you ever betray me. You want me to obey me, are you not?
Okay. You can I don't know the lyrics. So we've got thick vocal folds there, but you can hear that sung sound that's coming from the thyroid cartilage tilting forward. You can't quite see it on Alexandra's face, but she's definitely using more of that moan and that sound in that moment. But it's not like she's like pressing the vocal folds really close, like really, really tightly together. They are still thicker, but we're not hearing that same volume that we're going to hear in the chorus, okay? And when let's go back on this second.
You feel like a phantom. Why do you wanna take me? It's hard to breathe and do you feel me? Do what I say and don't you ever betray me. You want me to obey me, are you not? All I need is your love.
Oh, she's fantastic. So, don't you ever betray me. That is the thicker vocal fold further down in the range. And it's almost where we start to begin when we're looking for screaming. We're actually going to take the thicker vocal folds further down than they really want to go. Usually they want to introduce breath. But if we start going, that is where we start to begin. And honestly, I haven't moved past that with my vocal lessons because I find that excessively difficult. But if you are looking for rock singing lessons, if you're looking for metal singing lessons, then check out my singing teacher in the description below. Britta will hook you up. She's an insane screamer and I absolutely love lessons with her. And she puts me through my paces though, really. Like honestly, I haven't moved from that exercise because I still can't do it. Okay. That was interesting actually because I don't think I realized that the what choke me before she goes into the opera section has now been taken over by the backing vocals. This is the beauty of looking at songs twice, honestly, because I get to like listen into way more. Wow! oh, okay, actually we're up on the B4. Whenever I sing these things, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not very high because I'm a soprano. So, but that used to be high for me. So we're up on the B4 there. So wow, definitely a thicker vocal fold, chest voice sound. She's swapping into there. I need your love. Swapping into the head voice as she's going higher in the range. That's also because, well, we want the dynamic of like not doing that further on in the song. She's actually gone in a lighter sound. I needed your love. She's left it in the head voice rather than going, I needed your love, and swapping into the falsetto. I needed your love. A little bit more of the narrowing there. Usually that is a little bit of twang coming in there, which is the tightening of the area above the larynx, but there's not a lot. We're still, it's, you know, you can kind of like fake these things when you're gone from a chest, like a lighter chest voice into the head voice. And if you don't transition into a love, into that breathy sound, you can actually kind of cheat it a little bit. That's what she's done to make this higher section a little bit easier to transition at the beginning of the song. Oh God, is this not just like so cool? We heard the microphone kind of like peaking a little bit there. Probably could have done with taking a little bit further away from her mouth, but I mean, the crowd is going wild. It's probably really difficult to hear yourself. That's at this level, that's the sound technician's fault. That's got nothing to do with Alexandra. Like, the sound technician should have been like fucking onto it because they've already had rehearsals and they've had their semifinals. Like, why is that peaking? And it's like on this stage. I've said this in a couple of videos. The sound in the semifinals was shit. And that's why I haven't looked at any of those videos, because honestly, I don't really feel like it's fair on the performers to even like have that online. Because like that sound was awful and with so many singers singing out of tune. But anyway, that's a different point. Flat 5 there, a below middle C. So love me, daddy. When we're starting to get up into that part of the range, that is a head voice sound. I know it sounds really, really loud, but it's still head voice. It's thinner vocal folds. We beefing up the sound. It's head voice, but it's still like thick, thin. Thick, thin vocal folds. And then we've got AES narrows. We've got a little bit of twang. Love me. And that helps us with that more operatic, like strident sound to get it louder. So that's just, again, this is like basically that what she's just done is like what most classical singers will do as an exercise in order to get the sound. But we've got thinner vocal folds further up in the range. And we've got the north, south, I was going to say northwest there for a second there. Don't know why she is coming up like all over my social media. Not that I want her to, but I've just like, ugh, maybe I said it like once and then my phone heard me. Ugh, they're always listening. So we've got the love me, baby. She's got that north-south facing mouth. When we elongate the mouth shape there, we're going to darken the vowel, which helps us when we're going higher in the range because we need to do kind of our utmost in order to bring in some of those lower resonances of the note. You can see that. Even there, choke me, choke me. She's not going in with a shitload of volume or anything like that because we're still at the beginning of the song. We need to remember the song firstly needs to build, but also it's about the stamina of the voice throughout the song. She is a professional artist. She will be absolutely fine and have been doing this for a very long time, but this is also part of the management throughout the song. she's now bringing in more of the vocal cord closure. That's getting a little bit more pressed now as she's going further on with the song. I love the staging of this. Is her like... Honestly, when I first watched this on Saturday, I was just thinking like, wow, firstly, what beautiful makeup, but like her facial expressions, her intention with the camera. This is just so fantastic. It just like draws you in. So we got Phantom, ba-da-ba-dum-ba. We got a little bit more closure going on here.
Save me. Inside I placed in. I want you to call me, call me, call me, call. My body is begging.
Can you hear that? So, I want you to call me, call me. That's not just twang in that moment. That's also a little bit of tongue compression there. Call me, call me. What we do is we can't use just one muscle. So we're always using like the tongue root, but we're also adding in the constriction of the muscles surrounding the tongue, which are the constrictor muscles. Call me, call me, call me. So it means that we're not actually pressing down on the vocal folds themselves. We're actually using the other muscles in order to distort the airflow as the sound is coming out.
My body is begging. Do what I say, and don't you ever betray me. You are here to obey me. Are you now? All I need is your love. I want it to touch.
So when she's going into that last section there, she's adding a little... I'm not a growl. Like, I can growl, but I am not like a screamer or anything. Just yet. I'm learning to scream. So I can't say how exactly that she's creating that. Usually, and the way that I've been taught to do this would be a little bit of constriction from the false vocal folds, which are so we have the true vocal folds, and then above them are part of the protection for your lungs is that we have the true vocal folds and then we have the false vocal folds, which can come on top. And when we just bring them in a little bit, then it can cause quite like that constricted kind of sound. Are you ready to obey me? Are you not? And that's kind of what's coming in. I feel like that was Fry though. So one of those. I don't feel like that was a Fry scream though. That was beg. I can't do it. I think there was a bit of vocal fry there.
Do what I say, and don't you ever betray me. You are here to obey me. Are you now? All I need is your love. I want it to choke me. But for you to come true, I want it to choke me. Choke me.
Now I understand it. Okay. I don't think I got the symbolism of the person in white until now. But she's like overcome her fears and now she's standing on top. I don't know why people had such an issue with her saying choke me. I'm surprised that she's going, oh, I need your love. But I mean, that's just stylistically what she's decided to do. So we've got thick vocal folds, chest voice. Whoa, I need your love. I think she's gone into thin vocal folds, but it sounds different to the when she's going into the classical. So it could be a little bit of falsetto there. Oh, I need your love. Where the vocal folds actually go stiff in that moment. Interesting decision, but I think it's covered by the instruments. It doesn't sound like the arse drops out of the sound at that moment. Can you say choke me? She she went down and you almost saw her pack the lats, what we call it in singing. So it's where we're pulling down on the shoulder blades to engage the larger muscles of the back. She pulled her head back. Chong-mei! That's also a way. So she's not only beefing up the vocal folds because we're hearing quite like almost like a pressed sound there, but packing the lats is also going to help to stabilize the smaller muscles inside the larynx to keep that sound stable. Okay, then it makes sense now for this section. We're up on the B flat 5 there. That's just a little bit 2 semitones below high C. That is a high note for people trying to go for. I actually love this song because this is really fucking hard to sing, because when we're transitioning between chest voice, this is more classical sort of style, it's very tiring on the voice because we're essentially using all of the muscles. The muscles for the head voice are different to the muscles of our chest voice. And she's like giving them over. So it's almost like a full body workout or a full voice workout throughout the song. So we go, woo! Seeing that mouth position there. Now, when we're going into that classical section, she is just dropping the larynx a little bit, but it's important to take a lot of that subglottic pressure away so that we don't overpower that operatic sound. I'm very surprised, though, that she doesn't start using the chest voice. I needed your love. But maybe that's a decision that she's made. I mean, she's a professional singer. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. But that's often a decision that we make about where are we placing the sound. If we're wanting to go, because she's going, love me, Betty. So if she's trying to go, okay, anything over top of that B flat 4 needs to be in the head voice or in that classical sound. That's also easier for us to place this, or easier for her to place the sound as she's going high, because just like everything above that part of the voice is then going to be in this more head voice style. It's also a way for her to make sure that she doesn't accidentally go into a thicker vocal fold when she's doing this section of the song. It's just like more than possible. I always say when we get into the slipstream, it's very hard to get out of the belt slipstream. Oh my goodness me. So fantastic. You can hear that scream at the end. She definitely can scream more than she screamed in this moment, yeah? She definitely can. I wonder what's going to happen next. Alexandra is an insane vocalist. Absolutely insane. We're hearing all of these different styles. We're hearing, the thick vocal folds, the thin vocal folds. This is the sound of an extremely well-trained singer who is really, got everything going on within the sound. But this is what we really need for metal, is like really like a versatile voice, because ultimately metal, in my opinion, is one of the hardest styles of singing to sing, because we are not just staying in this one particular vocal style. Let's just watch this little section before she goes into the scream at the end again. Did you hear? Whoa! She didn't necessarily hit the note full on. And I love that, because this is what I love about Eurovision in general, because we know that there is no auto-tune allowed to go on this stage, right? We saw in a lot of the national finals, auto-tune was being used quite a lot in some of the performances, apparently. But in this one, absolutely none is allowed. And we're really hearing the voice the way it is. And this is what I want you to see, that it's not about hitting like 100% perfection of all of the notes. That's not live performance. Live performance is like one flubbed note there. We're talking about practicing. We're not doing it on purpose, but this is a living instrument. This is what I love. So she didn't quite hit that note, and then she corrected, and then she went, choke me! And she went down low, because in some of the other performances, she was going higher in that choke me. Wow. Alexandra, absolutely fantastic performance. I was surprised that this did not do better at Eurovision. I have to admit, I was really, really surprised. Strong performance, strong vocals, and obviously the style always usually does quite well. I kind of wanted it to do like even better. But anyway, whatever. I'm not a judge, although I would love to be. If anyone knows anyone, give me a job. Yeah, I'd love to be a judge at Eurovision. So no more to say, really. Honestly, Alexandra, congratulations. What an amazing performance. And I'm really excited to see what she gets up to next. But this sort of singing doesn't just happen overnight. Honestly, like, she's spent years and years and years working at her voice. And it's not just like, she didn't look up like random YouTube videos. She got like personalized lessons, really getting into where her weak spots are and working on them. And that's what I want for you. And that's exactly why my online singing school provides one-to-one singing lessons, because there ain't no way that you are really going to reach this kind of level. Not even if you aspire, like, if you do not aspire to be Eurovision, that's also like to be on Eurovision, that's not a problem. But if you really want to know exactly what you need to be working on, what you should be practicing, if you want someone to like take your hand and go, hey, I know what is best for you to learn to sing, let me do that for you. So you can set up a call so that we can discuss what your next steps should be with your voice, because I really want you to succeed. 2026, still got shitloads of time left for us to really work on your vocal technique, and I want you to have a blueprint for your success. So you can sign up for a call down in the description below. I'd love to chat with you about your vocal goals. Check out some more Eurovision up here, and just remember, anyone can learn to sing. This is just a set of muscles. It's about learning how. And that's what we're here to do. So I'll see you around here next time. Happy singing, Kaki channel.